Hello again, this is Bob Ford of Bob Ford's History, Mystery, and Lore. Today, we're talking about Amelia Earhart. Let's get started. Did you ever feel you didn't fit in? Did you care if you didn't? You know, if you would just conform, life would be so much easier, but it's just not in you. That's how Amelia Earhart must have felt growing up in Atchison, Kansas, especially since she grew up in the early 1900s. It's people like Maria Carey, Osa Johnson, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Amelia who stayed focused and true to themselves that changed the world. Amelia Earhart was a handful at the get-go. In 1904, Amelia's father took her and her sister Grace to the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. There were many new sights to behold, but one truly intrigued Amelia: the world's first roller coaster. Probably like most fathers of a 7- and 5-year-old, Amelia's dad would not let them ride down that terrifying contraption. Not to be deterred, back in Atchison, Amelia, Grace, and her favorite uncle secretly built their own roller coaster off the roof of the back shed. Once completed, Amelia was the first to ride down, crashing, ripping her pants, and making a horrible ruckus that brought her parents out of the house. That was the end of the roller coaster. But it goes to show, however, that Amelia loved thrills and challenges even as a child. She attended her first air show in 1920, and at the age of 22, Amelia knew what she wanted to become: an aviator. Life in the early 20th century was difficult at best for women who challenged norms. Once Amelia tasted success, her achievements were first accepted and then acclaimed by the male-dominated society. She thirsted for more, faster, higher, and further she went as records were broke, accolades rolled in, and dreams were achieved. One time Amelia did give in to social mores as finally accepting one of George Putnam's marriage proposals, but only under her terms. She wrote her future husband a letter outlining what she would not become: a traditional, subservient wife. George agreed. Amelia kept on flying with the blessing and promotional help of her now new husband. No doubt, Amelia's mysterious disappearance added to her legacy. It's one of the great questions of the 20th century. What happened to Amelia? Amelia and her navigator, Fred Noonan, were trying to circumvent the globe when they lost radio contact over the South Pacific. Amelia's mother and others think they were captured by the Japanese, who in 1937 were on the move, taking strategic islands as a precursor to World War II. Treated as spies, questionable reports have it they were sent to Saipan and imprisoned until their death. Others think they ran out of fuel and survived a crash on a deserted island, living a Robinson Crusoe existence for a short period. And the final theory is what probably happened. They veered off course, ran out of fuel, and crashed into the ocean. The two great mysteries of the 20th century were what happened to Amelia's plane and where was the Titanic. In 1985, famed treasure hunter Bob Ballard found the Titanic, and now, with the help of the National Geographic Society, would turn his attention to what happened to Amelia. After weeks of a multi-million-dollar South Pacific search following factual and rumored leads, Ballard gave up. "We know where the plane isn't," he said. "It will be found. This is not the Loch Ness Monster." With new technology, the hunt for answers continues to this day. but her accomplishments while alive inspired many young girls to dream, strive, and succeed. She was the only woman in history to have 2 ticker tape parades in New York City. One in 1928, which embarrassed her because she was only riding on the plane, keeping a log that crossed the Atlantic. The second, however, in 1932, was her claim to fame, which catapulted her into megastardom after being the first woman to solo the Atlantic. A visit to the Amelia Earhart Birthplace Museum is a great escape for people of all ages. Each room is laden with Victorian furniture, Amelia memorabilia, and stories of her adventures. You get the feeling in this quaint house overlooking the Missouri River that Amelia could walk into the room at any time, wearing her signature leather jacket and cropped pants. Knock on that cherry banister that I'm sure Amelia rode down every morning, getting her first thrill of the day and rankling her parents as she slid towards immortality. This video is sponsored by Nottoway Valley Bank, voted one of Missouri's strongest banks, and it's right here in Northwest Missouri. It's my bank. For more information on them, check the links below. Thank you for watching. If you found this video interesting, please like and subscribe. Also, consider becoming a patron for more great historical content. That's the best way to support my channel. You can find my podcast for Bob Ford's History, Mystery, and Lore linked below. See you next time. Bob Ford out.